All right. Hello, everybody.
And here we are. We had some Discord stuff going on for a moment, so apologize for the delay of 3 minutes or so. Team captains seem to be ready to pick maps. It is going to be the 10th Lyran Guards, Revenants, versus Mantra. And I'm casting today with Bowser,
Hello, everybody.
and we have Isur helping us with the scoreboard. So, what's going to happen next, Bowser?
What's going to happen next? Well, we're moving straight to the map bans. As you said very quickly, we see 10th Lyran Guards immediately are picking HBG. Up to Mantra's pick now. So Mantra picks Bearclaw.
Bearclaw first. Oh, right. Yeah, for them and then Manifold. I see.
So Lyran Guards picks Frozen.
Right. So Mantra doesn't care about the side on Bearclaw, it seems. They just want it played quickly. HPG pick first was, of course, a given, because both sides are so similar.
And we'll see Mantra for the last pick, Terra Therma, with the decider being Viridian. And I believe today is a best of 7. Is that correct? Or it's not, sorry, it'd be best
Yes,
of...
I think so. It should be.
Yeah, best of
I think.
7, right. The same as DSC versus Vile, I believe, last week. Or was it 2
Hmm.
weeks ago? Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. So Lyrian Guards has Team 1 on HBG. And we'll see Mantra getting Team 1, Bearclaw, and with Lyrian Guard Team 2. That is interesting.
Team 2 on Bearclaw. So that's... Okay, that's the south side, I see. Yeah. Easier to go Kappa, but harder to go FC, I suppose. And then Mantra picks Team 1 on Frozen City, which is the north side, I guess, the more rangy side at first. It has the open Delta 5 sniper spot.
Yeah. And that is it.
And
So we will start with HBG.
yep. Yep. Revenants pick team 2 on Bog. Um, Chat, please comment. I realize there's a stream, of course, a stream delay, of course, but please comment on the sound or sound levels if you feel something's off, and I will try to fix it mid-stream. Okay, so while we wait for the players to get in, Bacon just invited his pause, and Mokra is surely inviting his soon, or theirs soon. Do you want to go over maps, or...
Yeah, we can talk about HBG a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about HVG. Let's switch our view quickly to the map room. So here we are. Let's see, Team 1 was... Sorry, wrong map. I went to Frozen first. Here we are. So Lyran picked the map, and... Or Lyran, sorry. And Mantra is Team 2 on HPG. I see. So south side Mantra, top side, north side Lyran Guards, or I should call them Revenants maybe. How do you think the Revenants will play top side? Do you have any
Well,
information on them?
I don't have a lot of information, I think, on Revenants at the moment. Haven't seen them play too much. I think we've seen Mantra play a little bit more this tournament. Um, I want to say we've seen a lot of teams playing in basement this tournament, so I think that would
Hmm.
be my obvious direction for Revenants. Though I would argue Mantra has the better side for basement being south.
What makes it better in your opinion?
Well, I think the ramps are wider for south. For example, for topside, team one, the D4 to D5 area is super narrow and it's very difficult to get good angles inside of that. You still can,
Right.
of course, and your retreat, should you have to fall back, can be cut off if theoretically, like you can theoretically be ambushed around the backside, something sort of like that, and cut you
Hmm.
right off. And that's something that doesn't really happen south side because it's so open.
Yeah, that's a good point. The maps are not perfectly symmetric at all. Not for the traders either.
No, not for the traders either. Like for example, the C5 C6, that little diary you put up there, that big like bulbous structure, I guess, is really good for hiding specific top peaking mechs like stone rhinos, like corsairs are a big one, battle masters, even stalkers. That south side
Hmm.
doesn't get a whole lot of.
Hmm. We see Team 1 locked. That is Lyran guards locking in. They have 3 in Alpha and Bravo, and 2 in Charlie. Charlie is the spawn closest to Gamma. Whereas from Alpha lands, they will probably send at least one to take Epsilon on the side, on their right side. That would probably be Django if he's the assigned light pilot for that. Team 2 is now on the clock, 5 minutes. Let's see how they arrange their lances on Mantra's side.
Interestingly, we do see Revenants going 10 under. I'm actually a little bit surprised to see that. For example, in the DSC versus Vile match 2 weeks ago, we saw that neither team dipped under 5 tons. And that's for good
Hmm.
reason, because tonnage is pretty valuable, actually, like at
Yeah,
that level. And I'm surprised to see Revenant is willing to go 10 under, actually. I feel like
yeah, 5.
almost anywhere you like think about, you could do a lot with
Hmm.
10 tons with a lot of potential mech picks.
Yeah, like 5 tons, like going under 5 tons, that's usually fine. That means there is a mech pick that is better than anything 5 tons above it, but 10 means
Right.
they're saying there's nothing in their deck that couldn't be upgraded by 10 tons to make it better, and that's very rare. It's almost like it's either a very niche thing or a rush strat or something, but it rarely happens.
In the past, going undertonned meant you're taking faster mechs, meaning
Hmm.
more of a rush or aggressive strat. But it's HPG. We've seen teams try to be aggressive and rush on HPG already, and it hasn't worked out too well yet. So
Hmm. All right, Mantra has 4 mechs in Alpha lands, which is the central lands, and then 2 on the side cap lances. The Reds making final adjustments to his team, and now they're all ready. All right. Do you have any other words before we launch?
Uh, no, not really. HPG is a difficult map to make predictions on. I think there's a lot of ways you can play, and as you said, the map is pretty symmetrical on both sides. So it's really going to come down to uh, what we see in the drops. I think.
Hmm. All right. Well, you can launch at your leisure. Somebody gave me some good feedback, so apparently we are just a bit quiet on my channel, so I will up the volumes. Hopefully this is better. Yeah, go ahead and launch, Bowser.
Wait, hold up. Is Team 2 locked? Did they say?
Yes. Wait. No, they haven't
No,
locked.
yeah,
That's
yeah, they have not.
sorry.
Yeah, they have not locked yet.
My bad. My bad. I tried to sabotage Mantra's play from the start. Now they're locked. Nice.
All right, we will drop.
Yeah, they were just all ready, but not locked yet. Which happens, which happens. All right, first game. HPG. This will kind of set the tone for the entire match because we'll see if people take it slow, take it chill, and trade around, or if they go straight at the enemy from the start, which can work, but it's a show of aggression, which belies other like psychological standings maybe of the teams. All right. Do you want to take a team first?
My camera is south side, so I will talk about Mantra.
Sure. Mantra's brought in, I guess, kind of normal stuff. Stalker 5, Stone Rhino 1, Mad Cat 2, and a Crusader 60. What do you think they are going for here?
I would say that's a pretty normal setup, especially with the
Mm-hmm.
Crusader. Generally, you're only taking the Crusader to hold on this map. You're only taking it to hold basement. So Macho's coming in. We're gonna see a Stone Rhino 1, a Shadowcat Prime, the Crusader 6T, Flea 19, Stalker 5S, Matcat 1, Viper F, and a Jenner 2C2.
Right. On Revenant's side, we have a Street Cleaner Irby. Otherwise, it's kind of normal. Osiris 1P, Vulcan 5S, and Bullshark Stalker, Stone Rhino 2.
So looking through the build, something that I really like is I see Moko's bringing that ERPPC AP Gosh Shadowcat. I think he watched the DSC and Vile series 2 weeks ago, and I think they learned how much damage those ERPPCs can put out that the Plasma simply can't. The Viper F for Tremsless, Machine Guns, Heavy Mediums, pretty nice. The Phoenix Hawk
Mm-hmm.
for Revenant is ERPPCs. Interesting. So, Stalker, of
Mm-hmm.
course, ER larges.
Mantra pushing the basement now. They are being met with resistance from Bacon Lord in the Shadowcat, and Kogurt in the Street Cleaner is kind of hanging close, but they are giving Mantra data. Bacon Lord is sort of in trouble, I guess, engaging. Street Cleaners come in. Street Cleaner comes in and helps. Yeah, Bacon Lord. I don't know. I don't know. He actually kind of won that trade, taking 10% or so, but he took 10% off the enemy mechs as well. Traders have now began trading, and Colonel David Renard is kind of sort of getting shots
He's kind of
quite a
put
lot
himself in a
already.
crossfire. He's kind of been crossfired by both the Stalker and the Rhino from
Yes,
Revenant.
it looks like he's kind of stuck on this
He's going to
corner
back
without
down.
JJ's.
So Renard's going to back
Mm-hmm.
down completely. Not ideal if you're Mantra. They do have Evan Carl in the Stone Rhino. He looks like he wants to go basement. But we see
I
Sleepy
think.
Human in the Bull Shark.
Mhm.
New mech for the tournament as it just came out for Seabills, I believe. Or MC. One of the two came out for Seabills or MC, so it's legal in the tournament. Very strong mech, I might add, at
Where's he?
95
Here.
tons. He is up top,
I
Revenant
found him.
side of the ramp. It's AC 10s and plasmas on that Bull Shark. Pretty strong.
Yeah, very similar to Stone Rhino build, just higher mounts on the plasmas as well. Renard dropping down was sort of wise, though. He realized he was kind of stuck, and now he's up again,
So
and he didn't have to
Mantra,
pay too
real
much
quick,
for it.
Mantra is pushing in their Rhino into the basement with the Crusader. They're looking to take this basement back with force.
Nice point. Good point.
Revenant doesn't want to fight it. Then maybe they realize the Crusader and the Rhino are there. They're looking to not fight it. They're just going to let Mantra have Theta.
Mm-hmm. Revenant answering with pushing the Bull Shark maybe a little even further into the center to trade against Winter's Mad Cat 2 here, up here.
Interesting though, we see
So,
JP Janko for Revenant is kind of almost in the back line. He was getting some shots into the rear of Mantra's people in the basement. We see Cardinal Dover Renard is just getting he's just getting beat up here in the trade. 61%, took another strike, 59%. Absolutely beat
sorry
up in
about
these
the camera
trades.
work. Yeah, good point. I just zoomed at to him. Very hurt already. Let's see the paper doll. Right, so spread on torsos, but very weak now. Looks like Mantra pushed out of the basement already, and Revenant not too keen on taking it back, though. They know the danger's there, so they're opting to play the sides a bit more carefully here.
Absolutely.
Checking a Doret Jenner 2C, of course, for a Narc. No Narc. Disappointed. but maybe he'll compensate by doing a lot of killing in the damage optimized Jenner 2C.
So caps are
3
starting to
hurt.
swing in favor of Mantra here. Obviously, they're sitting on the 3 cap. I would say in about a minute, minute and a half, Revenants is going to have to act. They're wanting to act already, though. They have Sleepy Human pushed up on their side of the map. I like this a lot, but he has the potential to get in a pretty strong crossfire. Mantra's the Shadowcat to the left, the Stalker right in front. Of course, the Stalker continuing to take a lot of damage, and he's in range of Sleepy Human and that Bull Shark, and then Winter's Rigor. So if Mantras keeps peeking into Sleepy Human one by one, they're going to be in big trouble. And then, of course, with Monkiatsu and the Stalker, and then Luminos and the Stone Rhino providing crossfire and cover for that Bull Shark.
Yeah,
But
Bullshark can play there because he's covered by Luminius, who is now hurt though, so we can't really say how long that cover will last for Sleepy Human and the Bullshark. Luminius is open right torso. He did evade that strike skillfully there though, so that's good. We might see there's some skirmishing on the left side here. Kogurt and
so
Django fighting off the Stone Rhino and
So you see
Crusader.
Canadian
That can be very
DJ kind
dangerous.
of jumps in real quick to Tremsless and JBV in those 2 lights. He's gonna get out. He takes a bunch of free damage for it though. I didn't think he had to do that. That's a
I
little bit
see
of
here, yeah.
bleeding that Revenants can't really afford. They are still up on armor overall quite a bit though.
I can't click him. He's too fast. Canadian, stop.
I'm
Thank
not
you.
a big fan of Evan Carl. Evan Carl taking a big hit here in that Stone Rhino. Down to 67. He's almost dead. 62%.
Oh, he's getting farmed.
He's getting pressured very heavily from the Revenant lights.
This is weird, don't you think, though? He has
He's
like
halved,
4
actually. He's
lights
halved.
next to him.
He's only down to 2 AC-10s.
2
Yeah,
AC-10? Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on with the Mantra lights here. They're kind of running away from Evan Carl at this point. Cougar overextends a little bit to get his shots into Evan Carl and into the Crusader from dash 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 dash. That's what his name comes up as, so that's a funny name.
Let's say 6 dash.
JP Django kind of diving in too. I don't like these overextensions from 5J Revenant lights, but
Mokor jumping in with the Shadowcat now on the Street Cleaner while being shot at by Revenant's Overwatch. Mokor is actually going to lose this fight against the Street Cleaner, most likely, because that Irby's one tough thing.
so as I was saying that I don't like the overextension from Revenant lights, they actually need to keep doing it because looking at the caps, it's starting to get critical. 600 points on 3 cap. They are capping Kappa. Canadian DJ and that Osiris is getting Kappa. At this point, it's a full route for Mantra. They need to hold as long as they can. I don't know if they're going to be able to with Revenants just encircling the entire map at this point.
Kappa going. Yeah, Revenant's taking Kappa, or decapping it, not capping it, which is wise. They don't want to win by caps, they just want to stop Mantra
Absolutely.
from winning by caps.
Because they will win this on kills.
Correct. If you look at the map, Revenants have completely, of course, circled the map now. Mantra kind of gave them the leeway while holding 3 caps. Revenant said, okay, you can have 3 caps. You can go up to 650 points, but we're going to encircle and use this advantage to whittle down your armor and kill you in the end, it looks like. Mokor and Tremselize is holding out in the center.
So
Sigma has 1v1 going on with the Flea and Osiris.
So Django does get liked by Tremsless there on Theta. Tremsless does get a good deny, but there it is. It is decapped, and that is all the caps decapped for Mantra, just down to Tremsless and JBV.
Close. Flea is legged, but he does have the firepower advantage here at this range, I believe.
And that is
Ooh,
it.
try.
Well done by Revenant. I liked their strategy with the Bull Shark. I was a big fan of watching the Bull Shark play throughout that game. What do you think?
Yeah, Bullshark definitely took the middle bravely, and it was okay as long as they could hold Overwatch. But I don't know, he farmed 700 damage with the Stalker backing up. Was it the Stalker actually?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
yes,
it was
it
the
was.
Stalker.
So both at 700 damage. So that was definitely a power position they leveraged. Let me just switch the room back to a lobby. So that early game in the center was sort of, I'm not sure. Let's switch to a map room and check it out. It was kind of confusing to me. So Mantra took Theta early and went there with like, I think 5, 6 mechs even. and then Revenants let it happen, which is fine because that's like a decision where you either or sorry, a point where you make the decision between we are going to go down there and challenge them and take Theta, which is often not maybe wise because they have 6 mechs there or 5. So instead, Revenants opted to play the sides and get map control and win the trades. And by mid game, that was sort of what already happened. So Mantra's traders got whittled down, especially Renard in the Stalker, of course, maybe with that early positioning error. And after that, it was hard for Mantra to come out of the basement. So they had basement, but then what? Coming out is gonna hurt, and taking back that map control is gonna be very difficult. And they sort of got stuck at the entrance there in, was it Delta 5 E5? Or I can't remember easily, maybe Echo 4 E5. Such a symmetrical map, so I forget. But yes, they got kind of mowed down at that entrance, with the Stone Rhino not getting enough backup to push out, even if he had like 4 mechs next to him.
I'll be right back. Just gonna get a drink real quick.
Sure. All right. Bowser swapped the teams. That's good. Team 1 is now on the 5-minute clock for Bear Claw. Let's look at Bear Claw. So I'm gonna base these this analysis on the HPG map. Mantra was more decisive early on with the Wolfpack, just opting to go down to Theta and taking it, and kind of posturing for a fight if Lyrans want to take it, or Revenants. Going off that, Mantra might be the team to go to Theta with more tonnage early on, but that leaves Kappa and Epsilon as easier picks for Revenants, but it's hard to speculate. Both teams will probably opt to play trade. And trade on this map isn't that simple. Oh, general volume. Thanks, guys. Watching chat for some sound feedback there. Just un moment.
Sorry about that. Still beating a
Welcome
sickness.
back,
I have a
welcome
lot of
back.
dryness, a lot of issues with my throat, a cough I can't beat. It's annoying, so I don't know what I caught. I don't think it was a cold. I don't even know if it was a flu. Could have been COVID for all I know. I don't know, but whatever. Anyway.
Anything, whatever it is, hope you can beat it soon. I'm quickly checking the audio settings. I hear the stream is a bit quiet in general. So, do you have anything to add on that last drop, Bowser? Or maybe you have something in mind for the next drop based on that one?
As far as the last drop goes, I think Revenants played it extremely well. That aggressive Bull Shark, Mantra didn't have an answer. But on top of that, Mantra Stalker just got crossfired out of the game really quickly, which is part of what allowed that Bull Shark to get as aggressive as he could. And I think they kind of dropped the ball in the big department too, especially with the Rhino. The Rhino just kind of getting outside, as we saw, getting ran at by 3 or 4 of Revenant's lights and just really hard bullied. So I like to think on a map like Bear Claw, it's really just going to be about the lights. That's what I like to think. It's a huge capping game, as we saw from DSC versus Vile 2 weeks ago, right? It's DSC won pretty convincingly, just because they were able to hold on to caps for so long that Vile didn't really have an answer, and when Vile tried to push, it just fell apart at that point. Everything was too slow, too much damage had been taken at that point, everything. So, and that's really, as we get to this higher level, as these last few teams in this tournament, I expect everyone to realize Bear Claw is not a pushing map. It is not a receive map. It is not anything. It is a cap map above all else. Front and center, it is a cap-based map. You win the map by playing caps just because of how large it is, how long it takes to do anything on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and on top of being large, positioning decisions are not easy to undo always. So
Exactly.
exacerbates the capping nature of the map.
Especially if you elect to take slower assaults, maybe that are better holding ground.
Mm-hmm. And light kills matter all that much more. And that's why, like, that's also the reason why if you rush in, it's called sort of a binary result that comes out of it. You may win, or you may have your lights crippled, because in a push you often want the lights to sort of screen for the bigs, at least oftentimes in most push decks, and not just send the bigs alone in there. And if that timing fails, that two-pronged timing, so on, sort of, then if the lights get crippled because of that, the ensuing cap game, if the push doesn't like finish the game, is very hard to pull back with those crippled lights.
Absolutely.
Right, Team 2 is on a 5-minute clock, or was for a moment already.
I will note, though, as we see Mantra locking up first here, that previously in the tournament, they did pull some very sneaky shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're 5J, every single match in the tournament is streamed. So if you're Revenant, you are going back and watching all of Mantra's matches, and you're going to see that that's what Mantra does. They try to play sneaky. At least they did. So that is something to be prepared for here if you're Revenant coming into this match, especially as you're locking up second. You're seeing the distribution of players and lances first from Mantra.
Mm-hmm. Excellent point. Gonna switch us to a map room real quick. So it looks like Mantra is just Alpha and Bravo. That's on the right side. So nothing on the Kappa side. One can infer something from that position, whereas Revenants are they have a single mech in Alpha, which is the Kapper, and then 4 mechs on Charlie, which is the Epsilon side. So based on this, Mantra might deduce that, or rather, Revenants might deduce that they can send a mech to Kappa and encounter no resistance. But
Agreed.
we'll see how that pans out. All right, let's see. I will go to the south side, which should be Mantra. All right, I'll start. Mantra bringing in a Stone Rhino 1. Highlander, IS Highlander 732B. Interesting. Jenner to C, Mad Cat to Void, Hellfire. So that's definitely some fast firepower they can assist the lights with. What's on the Revenant side, Bowser?
I haven't seen anything yet. The dropships haven't come down yet. Let me see.
Oh, yeah. Right. I'll go ahead. Revenants have an Executioner. Hatchet Man 7R, so not the Tin Man for brawling, but a 7R. Phoenix Hawk 7S, Mask, Vulcan 5S, Cyrus, again the Street Cleaner, and then a Bull Shark and a Stone Rhino 6, which is the long-range ER large variant. Let's see, Canadian DJ in the Osiris. Yep, he's heading towards Kappa. What's in the Hatchetman 7R here? 5 smalls and 2 snubs. The usual. Bull Shark. 5 AC5s and 2 light peeps. Stone Rhino larges. Yes, that's correct. And Volcan. Is this a pop tardy? No, yeah, two year peeps on JB Django, nothing else.
So
So he can't
interest.
actually take part in fights.
So
Too close. Yeah,
interesting.
go on.
Mokor for Mantra has heavy, large, ear mediums, LMGs on his Shadowcat. I think that's pretty strong on this map. I approve of the pick. Winter's Rigor on the Highlander, AC5, Ultra 5, 3 PPCs. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to accomplish at all. Curious to see it do work though. We see Neon 30 in the Jenner for Mantra with the Narc.
Benchicon already hurt, trying to do work with his snubs in the Phoenix Hawk. We have an Epsilon situation as well. I'll leave these Theta fighters to it for a moment and check Epsi. We have 2 mechs from the Mantra side, a Jenner 2C and a Void, trying to deny JP Django's Vulcan Epsi cap, which they will, of course, even if Revenants have some overwatch, in the form of the Luminous Stone Rhino 6-year Lodge, who can't really see the enemy yet.
Interestingly, though, that means that JP Django of Revenants is telling his team, okay, well, there's 2 people, 2 mechs, Epsilon. Of course, he has another mech behind him, Luminous and the Stone Rhino, so it's 2-on-2. But if there were 2 mechs on JP Django, then that would be good information for Revenants to work with. We do see on Theta, Mokor taking quite a bit of damage there in that Shadowcat.
Yes, it seems Mantra lost the fight on Theta, so to speak. They gave way to Revenants, who granted have about 6 mechs facing Theta, whereas Mantra only has 4 mechs.
In fact, Mokor's open CT. That's not where you want to be in a Shadowcat at all this early into the match. He absolutely lost the Theta fight there.
Oh yeah, that is gonna hurt. Mantra sending 2 mechs to retake Kappa, which Revenants kind of just gave up with.
We see Sleepy Human in the Bull Shark. Good pick. Again, I really like that Bull Shark. It's a strong mech. Pushed up to middle with those AC5s. Of course, Mantra is responding in kind with the Stone Rhino and the Highlander, but they're both kind of playing the same corner. I'm not a big fan of putting both your assaults on the same corner. It looks like Evan Carl might be trying to reposition, but the angles are just not good.
Yeah, Mantra gave up on Epsilon and let JB Django cap it with his reinforcements. I guess Mantra are fine with just taking Kappa and then seeing what the third cap is. It seems to be Gamma. Mantra sending 2 lights to cap Gamma while they keep fighting in the middle.
They're sending Dered and JBV in the Viper and Flea. I don't think Revenant has any idea this is happening, but of course Revenant has the Executioner who can respond. Actually, Revenant lights are on Epsi's side of the map. Revenant has nothing that can respond right now to this incursion from Mantra.
No, they don't actually even know it's happening.
Yeah.
Closest mech would be the Executioner, who is definitely just focused on engaging Theta.
And JP Django at this point, who's coming back. There's the Gamma Cap. There's Monkiatsu and JP Django coming back. They will try and stop Gamma. I don't think they're going to be able to stop it, though. They might be able to retake. But theoretically, Dered in the Viper, if he comes back, gets denied. Dered is, of course, running, though. He's not going to stick around. Or he should be running. He stopped. Not optimal. I'm not sure why he has stopped there. He is going to try running now. He should be just fine. Mokor taking another big hit in that Shadowcat. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Right torso. Direct hit. Let's see. Dared's Vulcan is... Oh, sorry, Viper. He's kind of fine, honestly. Lots of damage in the arms, some leg damage, but it's fine.
So this does seem like an overreaction, though, from Revenants real quick. They sent back 5 mechs just to try and stop the 2 of Mantra. That plays very much in Mantra's favor if they can take ground on the rest of the map. I don't know if they can, though. They still have these 2 assaults just in the same grid square, basically right in the same area. I don't like Evan Carl pushing up to Theta, though. I think that's super dangerous. They know he's pushing up. They can just Pop-Tart him. Revenants brought a lot of Pop-Tarts, and they brought quite a bit of like long-range stuff, too. Even with the AC5s, with the PPCs and the Executioner, with the Stone Rhino, the ER Largest, they have a lot of stuff that can just bully this Evan Carl and the Stone Rhino, and they are getting a lot of bully shots on him. He needs to be very careful in that Stone Rhino.
Mantra's Jenner 2C took a big hit in the center rear torso. He's like one shot. Actually, my UE shows he has no HP in the center, and after a while it turns like totally red. So he's like 1 HP rear CT.
That's really not good.
Yes, he should have hanged behind the cap structure here, not instead of running around it, because that shows his back to the enemy, like, naturally, and that's scary. Now
Mantra
they're trying
just
to
bleeding like
force...
crazy. They're trying to force Theta. They're just
Correct, yeah.
absolutely bleeding all their HP on Theta. We've seen this happen previously in the tournament. Theta is
Yes,
no
it's the
man's land.
capstone Rhino.
Theta is no man's land. It's so difficult to contest here. Even if you send bigs, you just get crossfired from every angle of the map, which is exactly what's happening to Mantra. I'm not a fan of them just moving their assaults up here just to get crossfired to death.
Yeah, Revenant's
There goes
pushing
Windows
in now.
Rigor. Evan Carl's going to go down quickly. And there goes
Yeah, they
Evan
waited
Carl.
for the Vulcan. They waited for the Vulcan JP Jango to back cap their home cap and
Interestingly,
then
though, we
push
did
in.
miss something. Duredga and JBV does kill Luminos almost for free, it seems, on Epsilon, which is good. That'll free up Epsilon for Mantra, but of course Mantra's down 2 assaults and a Shadowcat and a Jenner now at this point. They're now down half their team, and Revenant is sitting on a very comfortable 500 point, just about 4 cap. It's going to be a 3 cap, but that doesn't really concern Revenant. You're fine with the 3 cap if you're Revenant right now. And there goes Tremsless in the Hellfire dying on the ramp.
Unfortunately, Mantra called the cap game way too late, taking Epsi now and going for Gamma. It's way too late for that. The cap game must happen earlier, or you're just kind of forced to fight. So this fresh flea here is not going to make much of a dent in Revenant's cap situation.
I think beyond that, it's a huge mistake. Again, we've seen it previously in the tournament. It's such a big mistake to have your bigs just running onto Theta just to try and strong arm control of that cap point. It's not possible. We've seen other teams do it previously in the tournament. It does not work. And Mantra's learned that lesson the hard way.
It's almost like a desperation move.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why you have the lights for. They can hide behind the cap structure, and the bigs will be positioned better if they hang in the back.
And there goes JBV. Absolutely getting murdered by those PPCs. Notably, actually, those ISPPCs are a pretty good pick on this map from Revenant. I kind of like it because you have the range to just flank the sides and farm anything moving around. And ISPPCs are high enough velocity that it's...
Yeah, buffed to 2.4k, so it's going to be very accurate, even if it's not high DPS.
Something like a flea, you have 3 people shooting a flea, like that flea's going to instantly die super quickly. The red is the last man standing. Can he get Monkiatsu? I don't think Monkiatsu is particularly hurt, though. No, Monkiatsu
Canadian is entirely fresh. Yep, not much he can do there.
And the red is legged, and he goes down. Well played from Revenant.
Yeah, well played. Only 1 death. That was...
I think Revenant played this map pretty textbook. And especially considering they were on the south side, which is just, it's the known better side. I don't know why, if you're Mantra, like, everybody's seen this throughout the tournament. Everybody's tried it. Everybody's failed. South side is the side to play Theta on this map. You don't play Theta if you're north side, period, end of story.
Yeah.
Mantra
Team 2 actually gets to Theta faster.
Yes. South side gets to Theta faster. They have better angles to cover it. It's just a death trap.
Yeah, Monk on Revenant's side, farming 800 damage plus in his Executioner.
And
damage all around.
He was the one standing on, like, basically the Pride Rock of this map, if you want to call it, just overwatching the high position map. Right? Yeah, exactly.
JP Django and Canadian DJ having a slightly lower damage, but that's because they've over a minute of cap time, just taking those caps, running around the map. Oh, man. Oof. So, do you think it started to flip in Revenant's favor because of trading or, like, cap decisions? I couldn't really tell. They had that Epsi scrap. Mantra actually got Kappa first, I believe.
I just think it was a deck difference. I think it was a deck difference, and I think Mantra wanted to think they could play for Theta, but there's just no chance. They learned the hard way. It's impossible.
Yeah. Just quickly draw the first movement. So that's to Kappa from Alpha. Canadians Osiris went to Kappa. Then we had this Epsi scrap with the Vulcans ER peeps. The Vulcans was probably actually, like, surprisingly threatening to the 2 lights in Delta 8. The 2-peep Vulcan. Because they wouldn't come close, even if that Vulcan does not have the DPS, and they didn't know the Storm Rhino will be there watching yet. So I guess it was just kind of scary to face a 20 pinpoint accurate alpha. So yeah, I'd say the Vulcan punished their Overwatch pretty well, considering it was a 1v2. Whoops, sorry, I showed the map ban instead of map room. Here we go.
So
My
yeah, let's
bad.
just move to Frozen. I think there's not even a whole lot to talk about on that last one. That last one was just textbook Bear Claw, I think, from
Mm-hmm.
Revenant.
Yeah.
I think Revenant played it almost perfectly. They put the mechs where they're supposed to go. They held the cap points they're supposed to hold. It was literally textbook from Revenant and
Yeah,
super.
and they traded well.
Yeah, it was very well done from Revenant. I really like to see that actually. I think finally a team. We haven't seen it much this tournament. Actually, we've seen a lot of teams who pick Southside on Bearclaw, and they don't play Theta or they don't play Caps properly, and it's just a huge mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Like Southside is just objectively better, and Revenant realized that, they learned that, and they played it, and it just a textbook success. So moving straight on to Frozen City. What do you
Agreed.
think?
Yep.
What do you think about Frozen?
So on team 1, Mantra, they're already readied up. So Mokor is alone in Charlie, which suggests either he's a trader who wants to sit back or he's a light going straight to Kappa. The red and 2 other players, the Flea player, JBV, is in Bravo, probably Theta. Uh, that'd be my best explanation. And then Alpha has 4 players closer to Gamma and Epsi. So they're definitely like starting with a cap hold, which is very common for this map. So take Gamma, Epsi, fight for Theta, and see what happens in the Overwatch of your traders. On Team 2, Revenants haven't still locked in, so it's hard to say what the end result will be, but they're still moving people around. Let's see. Okay, 2 people in Bravo, 3 in Alpha. So that means they probably will, after taking Sigma, they will take Kappa instead of aggressing on the FC side. Because if Alpha has a lot of pilots in it, it's, I'd say, less common to see that team also aggress the right high side, so FC side. They do have JP Django in the Charlie lands, which is closest to Epsilon. But it's hard to say. I think they're gonna play normal ranged cap strat here as well, just like the 2 previous maps. That's honestly a kind of a, I'd say that's like respectable. Mantra has now twice seen that they will be, or they have been sort of beaten on trade, and their cap game is a bit, I have to say, lacking because they pushed those assaults on Theta instead of like covering lights who can take it easier. It's not as confident as Revenants play, I would say. So that's why I used the word lacking. No offense to them, but they're definitely not as confident in the cap game as Revenants.
I agree completely. I think Mantra at this point needs to mix it up, and this will be a good mix-up side because they are on the north side, which we've traditionally seen being receiving pushes through this tournament, and I think it will be a good chance for Mantra to try and mix things up, playing from that north side.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so Kappa side is sort of easier to take for Team 1, and of course it is, because their traders can see into that high CT in Echo 4, whereas Team 2's traders cannot. They have to push in. And that also gives them the avenue of assaulting Sigma side, so let me just show the map room once more. So Mantra can push this Kappa side and over the ship into Sigma, where Revenants actually have three pilots spawning. So I think we're going to see action on the Kappa side, so this western side. And of
So,
course over Theta.
real quickly, I've just been informed that this is a best of 5, not a best of 7, which means this is match
Oh,
point potentially for Mantra's run in this tournament. So, even more so to what I mentioned earlier, they need to mix something up and they need to do it fast.
Damn, agreed. I thought it was a best of 7 at this point, but okay. Team 2 is locked, so yeah, definitely a... Oh, 470 tons on Team 2.
We see Revenant going under again.
Yes, that might be a rush, but then the lances don't support it, so I don't know what they're going for. They have some comfort picks maybe with the mechs. I'm gonna look at their mechs even like look over them even more now so I understand what the pick is. I'm not gonna suggest mechs that could be upgraded, but I feel the urge to do so because 10 tons over is so rare to see unless you have some very niche strats.
I think at this point, seeing the mechs that Revenant is bringing, I think it's just comfort picks. For example, on HPG, they could have had a Corsair over that Stalker for those 10 tons. It would have been a direct, it would have been a straight swap and arguably an upgrade in a lot of situations. But the Stalker is an easy comfort pick. And I have a feeling we're going to see something similar here with them being 10 under.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna blame Kogert. He has the Street Cleaner once more. I bet his teammates and his DC are always telling him, like, come on, man, take the Viper, take something, take a 40, take an Arctic Wolf with Lerms for God's sake, but he just goes and takes the Street Cleaner every time.
The Street Cleaner is strong. I don't think... It's a versatile pick. It's a versatile pick, and we've seen that Revenant really likes their PPCs. They like their light PPCs, their plasma PPCs, and their ER PPCs on their skirmishing mediums. So the Street Cleaner kind of plays into that. Good mounts, good speed, good tankiness, good pop tart ability, just kind of good everything.
Yeah, trade speed for everything else. Toughness, mounts,
No,
and
really,
so on.
Street Cleaner is pretty fast. It actually goes about 130 with speed tweak. It's pretty fast.
Okay,
It's the
that's
fast
much
derby.
faster than most RBs for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, it's the fast derby. It's the fast one. So we do see the teams
All right.
dropping down here. We're going to start with Mantra. We have Stone Rhino 1, Battlemaster 1G, Flea 19, Executioner M. We have the Shadowcat Mishipeshi, Viper C, General GC2, and a Void. What do you see for Revenants?
Revenants still have the Bullshark. It's a 4 this time. Executioner, Rancor, and the usual light pack with Osiris, Vulcan Shadowcat, and Phoenix Hawk. So nothing weird. I'm gonna check the
So here's
Bullshark
something.
build now.
So here's something. Look at the Bullshark build. I'm not sure if this was intentional. His streaks register as no ammunition for villain on Revenant's side.
They do? I can't see that, but I guess you can.
I'm looking in the cockpit for villain right now. His streaks are
no.
registering as 0 ammunition.
Oh no! Did he forget ammo? Okay, Mantra going heavy on the Kappa side.
Surely he's running the streaks for like a damage reduction or something. I don't think the Bullshark
No,
gets
no,
a
no, no.
damage reduction.
No, and you would run like
It
FRMs
might.
for that.
No, because you wouldn't run 5 streak 4s just for damage reduction. Yeah, there's
Exactly,
no way.
yeah, so
You would
it's
just
not
run
damage.
Storm 2s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mantra is gonna see that villain has those streaks and they're gonna play around it, but he's never gonna fire them. That's really interesting.
10,000 IQ move.
That's actually, as you said it perfectly. That's 10,000 IQ. They're gonna see those streaks, play around it, but he doesn't have them. Like he doesn't have the ammo taking space on his mech. That's 10 trillion IQ. Actually,
Mantra opening with 3 cap, almost getting the Theta soon as well, I guess. Revenant still, I don't know, grouping up on Kappa side, I suppose here for a fight at ship. But Mantra's evading, I think.
Mantra needs to be very careful. Revenant could just spill over here. Mantra looks like they're pulling back a little bit. They need to be super, super careful. I don't think Mantra's intending to play for Theta. All we see Colonel David Renard taking a bunch of damage to the Executioner, down to almost 80% already. Bacon Lord is taking some damage to the Phoenix Hawk. JP Django's legs are actually getting pretty hurt. Taking quite a bit of damage skirmishing in the low ground there.
I wonder what that assault at the very map edge on the right side is thinking when all these guys are fighting on Theta and Kappa side.
Kind of looking
He's
through
gonna
the
hold
builds
down
here
this
real
Blake.
quick. Everybody's builds are pretty much what you expect. XC's ER larges, Bloodass ER larges. So.
I'm willing to build. I'm willing to say that Bullshark isn't a 10,000 IQ build. It's like I'm sure he has like maybe 600 IQ, but I'm betting he just he forgot the ammo. All right. Old Hasu here locking down this lake. The lake will not be conquered, nor will Epsi.
So I like with I like Mantra's setup right now. It looks like they might try and push over to get Sigma. Yes, Smoker and the Shadow Guys pushing over to get Sigma.
Ah, they abandoned it. Revenants abandoned it, so it's a 4 cap soon.
JP Django is open leg at this point.
I mean, Revenants might be even confused, like what's going on. They can't take Epsi because of that Battlemaster positioning, nor did they aggress on Kappa side.
JP Django is almost open legs, not quite though. I don't like the way Revenant's moving their lights. They're moving their lights too much together. Oh, we see Ventricon and Cougar jumping on Evan Carl here with Canadian DJ. They're going to try and get this kill.
JP Django's legged.
Oh, that's really bad for Revenants here. But Evan Carl's in a bad crossfire. Canadian DJ taking a bunch of damage, though. Canadian DJ gets legged in the open. They tried to jump on this Evan Carl, but Mantra was ready. Canadian DJ goes down basically for free. Evan Carl's still not down. Good
Tremsalize is the Void. Tremsalize is playing in the Battlemaster's Overwatch, but dying.
Real quick, Mantra's sitting on a 5 cap at this point in time.
Oh, that's true. They got Theta. That's this is I don't know what to expect. Tremsalize goes down.
Absolute worst case scenario for Revenants right now. They just have to hard push. They have to hard push.
Oh my goodness!
But they're down HP.
And look at this Battlemaster just farming them. Oh, well, not farming actually. He's gonna die. They've got him very hurt.
Of course, though,
CT
right.
One
Old House in the Battlemaster does go down, but Colonel David Wren on the Executioner will not be long for this world. Same for Evan Carl, so that's going to be 3 quick kills on those assaults. Revenants are going to pick up, though. But, of course, JP Django's legged. Sleepy Human's very hurt. The down Canadian DJ. And Bacon Lord is... I think Bacon Lord might be leg 2, actually.
Revenants is basically trying to shove Mantra... sorry, the other way around. Mantra is trying to shove Revenants in on this corner of the map.
There goes Evan Carl, does go down. It's taken them so long to do this, though, that
yes, Revenants is in a rush.
Mantra's still on a 4 cap, 550 points at this point. All Mantra's
and
doing
they're
is
pulling their lights away.
Run, and that's what we see Mantra doing. Their lights are basically mostly fresh, and they are going to pull out. I don't know what Revenant's going to be able to do at this point.
I mean, it's critical they Mantra pulled their lights away at this point. That's a very wise move.
Absolutely.
Let's see if they can get away with it. Revenant's lumbering away from the city, killing the Viper, but 3 lights or pseudo lights still remain. They can still hold Kappa and Sigma, and they only need 150 points or so.
Though, I will note Cougar is pretty fresh, and Ventricon is pretty fresh too. Dered not looking so good on his health.
The bad thing here is Dared is getting shot while he's leading the enemy's cappers to this cap point here. If you wanted to play for time, you'd have to run some other direction. Like, okay, actually, sorry. Ventricon realized that. He turned away from Dared when he was going to take him away down that alley low ground and went for Kappa instead.
We do see Baconhorn and Cougar are pushing JBV off of Sigma, so that is, like... Unfortunately, Mantra ran off the map, so we're going to only see them sitting on a 1 cap. That is enough to win, should they be able to hold it. But we see Ventricon is going to try and take it back.
You legged the Phoenix Hawk?
That is really good, but this is Mantra's time to try and take out Ventricon. Of course, Dered can't do it on his own. Dered is much more hurt than Ventricon is. Another big hit. Bacon Lord does go down self-destruction, but Dered is not only halved, but also legged. Dered is going down very quickly to this Ventricon Shadowcat from Revenant.
Moker is going to finish the leg. Yes, there he goes. Kappa is now going, but they're going to retake Sigma.
Yes, they will retake Sigma. And I don't know if Ventricon is going to be able to come back and fight JBV and Moker. JBV is legged, though. JBV is legged. So at this point, they need to sit on Sigma for their dear lives and just hold it to the death. Is what they have to do.
Yes, it's 2 assault and a hurt Shadowcat.
And Revenant is just going to try and run on it. That's all they can do, is just try and run on it and get that decap. If they get that decap, it is secured. If they don't, it's going to be a lot trickier. So JBV needs to get in a good ambush position. He hasn't found it yet. He needs to do it quickly before Revenants comes. They're coming with Ventricon and Villain.
This is so big.
If JBV gets caught here, oh, he's going to get caught. JBV will get caught. He
Moker
loses
is not in
half of his
position to shoot
weapons.
yet.
JBV does
Oh
go
no.
down from ammo explosion, I believe, from the arms coming off. Benchcon takes a big hit, though, from Mokor. Mokor gets
Oh, he
Benchcon
takes out the
back to
check out.
actually
Now
huge.
the fresh battle, Bull Shark, the fresh Bull Shark.
Unfortunately, a Bull Shark, which doesn't have his Shriek SRMs.
Ah.
He'd be... This is
Oh,
exactly
no.
where he needs them right now. But
Minus
Moko
10,000
needs to
IQ
deny
move.
Sigma. Moko needs to deny Sigma. He just has to play his life to deny Sigma. He has to just deny Sigma.
Yeah, just deny, just deny. It's
Moko.
5 seconds
all you
each
have to
hit.
do is just chain fire your weapons and deny villain on Sigma. That's all you have to do. You can't let him... Like,
Oh my goodness, it's 15 points.
I don't like this. Moker's playing 2 kg. Oh, it's still ticking. This is
He might
so
be
close.
playing too
This is so
aggressive
close.
here. He could be pop-tarting this Bull Shark instead
Yeah.
of dancing with him. Oh, it's the 8
Well,
points.
the
Wieland
dance
is
is
not
fine.
gonna get it. He's not gonna get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. The
It's
dance is good. Oh, no, Monkey
5
Aqua comes in.
seconds.
Monkey
Oh,
Aqua
the
comes
back
in.
shot. The back shot. Oh no, they got it.
No.
So close. Are they gonna? It's.
Like,
Oh my god, it's 2 points.
748.
What?
Unfortunate. I think Mokor just needed to be on the sides. He needed to play the open spaces and just pop-tart the Bull Shark. He didn't have to run in on the cap there, and he had to do it more aggressively because, as we saw, the Bull Shark got a bunch of cap time when he was on that cap. When Mokor wasn't shooting him for a little bit there, he got a bunch of cap time on it, and that got it to a point where it was critical, and then he had to run on the cap point.
Right, and look, it's a very, very pressurizing situation. So I guess he couldn't think as clearly to realize that he can stay away from it.
No fault to Mokor. The only thing I would say is you can't let the Bull Shark get any cap points in that situation. Not when you have armor to play with. For as long as you have armor to play with, you can't let him get cap points.
Right, and about 3 seconds before he died, I was like, okay, the only way they can win this is to backshot that Shadowcat, and they did. He gave his back to that reinforcing mech at ship, towards the ship, and that was what decided it. That backshot. If he stayed a bit further away, he could have held it. But yeah, still, good try.
I think he, like I said, he just needed to be off to the sides in the open area, just kind of dancing around, using his armor, spreading those Gaussier larges and spreading those larges in the Bloodhouse, tanking it with his front armor rather than running on the point, unfortunately. Still very well played, and they brought it to such a close set.
Yes, super close to one where they could have still brought it back. Couldn't we make this best of 7? They were just getting started with these cap strats.
Yeah. Unfortunate, we can't. It is best of 5, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm just quickly gonna show the map room and just go over some power positions we saw there.
That I think might be the closest match we've seen the entire tournament so far.
Definitely caps-wise, numerically super close. It came down to the wire of a single pilot's not showing his back. By the way, I said it's a minus 10,000 IQ move, not to bring the streaks, but they won, so I have to take that back. So keep doing that. Keep it up. So near Epsi, they had the Battle Master overwatching it from this direction, a nicely tucked in position, might I add. And their other assaults were on this side in Delta 7 here. So they had 2 angles on Epsi, which is then very easy to deny. That's one power position I saw. What else? That's pretty much it. I mean, it was a back and forth walk to Epsi and back from Epsi and around the map. And both teams played it quite cagey and carefully for a good while. And yeah, and then Revenants team just won the trades, won the fight near Epsilon in the upper city.
I would say Mantra was winning the trades out to the start of the match and for a couple minutes in, but
yeah, agreed.
Their mechs were pushed too close. I think like where that Executioner was there is roughly where the Stone Rhino and the Executioner were. I think they really had to just do this. Just fall back behind Gamma rather than in front of it. Just give Revenant space to take the map and bleed while they do so. Just all over here, all over here. Old House in the Battlemaster, I think that's a really strong position for him. No really critique on that. I think that's pretty strong. Once Revenant pushes as much as they do, he's obviously going to fall down, but his point is to just buy time. And he did buy time. And he got a good like chip damage and bleed damage on Revenant lights and bigs. So that was very strong. But I really think Executioner, Stone Rhino, and the other lights just had to like. If your mantra, right, the 5 cap is very appealing. It's very nice. It puts a lot of pressure on Revenant to act, but you don't need it. All you need is a 4 cap. You can give them Epsilon. In fact, you can give them Gamma, and you're still sitting on a 3 cap with a cap lead.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little bit too greedy to try and hold the 4 cap, let alone a 5 cap. And I think that's where Mantra fell apart. Their mech started falling like dominoes, one by one in very quick succession, and then it was a rout.
Mm-hmm. And hey, if you're going for cap strat, why not bring a spider? Don't get me started on that, sorry.
That's the Stimrock special.
Anyway, a very, very close third match.
That was super close to their match. Very well played from Mantra and well played from Revenants, taking the series, moving on to fight, I believe it is DSC next week for the loser bracket finals.
Yes, correct. Well, that's it, unless you have some ending notes on it. I was glad to watch that. Great play by both teams.
That was a good series. Very well played, especially on that last drop. I have nothing to add.
Yeah. Thanks for casting with me, Bowsers, and thanks to everyone for watching.
Thank you, everybody, for watching, and thank you for casting.
Right. We'll see you later. Take care.
Have a good one, everyone.